Hi everyone. On January 23rd, the Holy Orthodox Church celebrates the memory of our father among the saints, Mausimas the Syrian. Mausimas, who lived in the outskirts of Antioch, would perhaps today be considered a little uncouth, a rustic, even a peasant. But none of this prevented the grace of God from working mightily in him. Mausimas kept 2 jars with him at all times. One of these contained wheat, the other contained oil, both staples of life at that time. And anyone who came to him, he would give of each to them liberally. And in fact, an even greater miracle, besides the innate miracle of generosity in a human being itself, is that he did not have to worry that he would be without these supplies for people, nor did those who came to him worry that he would not have anything to give them. Because the Lord, in his mercy, granted Mausimas that both of these items of oil and wheat would be replenished miraculously. In other words, the jars never ran out. Mausimas was also an ascetic. In terms of his own clothing, for instance, he never had but one garment his entire life. And in fact, when it became threadbare, as it must have many times, he would take a patch and patch up the hole and continue on. And he lived quite a while. Mausimas also cared deeply for the people in his area, in his city, in those outskirts of Antioch. There was a man named Ritter who was, well, we might call him a city councilman today, or perhaps the big shot in the area that had a lot of money, who would employ a lot of people. And he was not kind to these people at all. In fact, he was very nasty to them, very mean, and very, well, we'll say he's almost Scrooge-like in his attitude towards them. Mausimas was unhappy about this, and he confronted Ritter one day about this and said, "You really need to be treating people better. These people are hardworking, they have nothing, and yet they come to you, and you turn them away, and you don't pay them a decent wage." Well, Ritter listened to all this fairly patiently and got angry, and then turned around and became twice as bad as he was before. But yet, the Lord would have the last word on all of this. For one day, when Ritter was getting ready to go somewhere in his very ornate carriage, the wheels, strangely, would not turn. And so he commanded those who were with him and working for him to go out and push the carriage and get the thing going. But yet, the wheels were frozen. They absolutely would not move. Well, someone suggested to him, rather bravely, that perhaps Mausimas had something to do with this. And then, again miraculously, a change came upon this man. And he realized the error of his ways, and the grace of God descended upon him, and he rushed out and found Mausimas and threw himself at his feet and begged him for forgiveness. Mausimas, of course, accepted his repentance, and the man went back, and strangely enough, the wheels on his carriage also became renewed, and the carriage was able to move. Mausimas himself is an icon of generosity for us. He was always giving, even when he had nothing, and yet the Lord was always able to provide for him and through him for the people around him. It's a marvelous thing to be generous. Generosity is something always important in the Christian life. In monasteries, it's paramount that visitors are treated in a very Christian and generous and loving way. And Mausimas showed that even as a layperson, even with nothing, that he was able to exercise his generosity out of love for his Lord and thereby become an example of this for all of us.